Hey everyone, it's AYBL Main here. I want to jump back in and do my top 5 albums for every year I've been alive. And right now we're hovering in at 1976. A little bit of a slide downward in comparison to 1975, which was a great year. But still some strong material here that's definitely worth talking about. And artists that I was really just introduced to for the first time in some cases. On my list is Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak. I've listened to like 3 albums by Thin Lizzy, and this is definitely my favorite. The title track is good. The second side is definitely better than the first side, in my opinion, especially the lead-off track, The Boys Are Back in Town. Enjoyed it very much. It's a great rock and roll record if you feel like just jamming out a little bit. Also in my top 5 is Boz Scaggs' Silk Degrees. Great songs on there include Lowdown, Lido Shuffle, and We're All Alone. It's got that nice, not quite yacht rock type of stuff, but it's more like blues rock, soft blues type of texture to it, and I really enjoyed it. It's the first time I've ever dived into him at all in the last year, and I wasn't disappointed at all. Also in the top 5 is Bob Dylan's follow-up to Blood on the Tracks, Desire. I watched before I actually listened to the album, I watched the documentary by Martin Scorsese that it was on Netflix at the time, about the tour that was associated with the making of the album and everything, and it was quite interesting. I really enjoyed it. The tracks on there that you'll like, of course, is Hurricane, Sarah, and my favorite is One More Cup of Coffee. So I suggest you check it out. It is a great album. Not maybe in my top 3 Bob Dylan albums of all time, maybe not even in the top 5, but still, Bob put out so much good material that, you know, if you're in my top 10, you're in my top 200 albums of all time. So there's really no shame in any of that stuff. So also included in that is David Bowie's Station to Station in my top 5. This is my favorite David Bowie album. That's saying a lot. I think it's better than Ziggy Stardust. I think it's better than Low and Hunky Dory. I just like it a lot better. I know that there's only like 6 tracks on there, and 2 of the tracks are like at least 8 minutes or more. I believe Station to Station, the title track, is 10 minutes. But it's also got Golden Years on there, and I recommend side 1 highly if you really want to get into that. Number 1 album for the year is my boy Stevie, circling back around again. My favorite of his albums, Songs in the Key of Life. Some great tracks on there. It's a double album, so you know you're going to find some filler on there, but not nearly as much as you might think. I think Stevie had like 6 singles that he released from this. The ones that I particularly like is Sir Duke, and I definitely love I Wish. That's probably a top 25 song of all time for me. I believe Isn't She Lovely wasn't released on the American version. It was released as a single, but not on the album for the American version. It was released in the UK though. But if you haven't listened to Songs in the Key of Life, it is a must listen. One of those albums that you must listen to before you die. That does it for the top 5, and now to go on to the album that everybody said I should love, but I actually didn't. This one was a really easy one for me when I actually sat and looked at it, is because I've only listened to 3 albums by Kiss. I've listened to their self-titled debut album, I've listened to Alive, and I've listened to Destroyer. And I've not liked any of them. I remember the songs from my childhood. I remember Detroit Rock City and Beth and things like that. But for some reason, now that I've gone back and listened to it, I realized that Kiss was just a novelty act. And they were a novelty act that really was just of the time. Now, I'm not going to say that they probably don't put on a banger of a concert, and I bet you they're wholesale entertainers all the way through. I'm just telling you that I don't enjoy their music very well. And Destroyer, for all the hype that people gave me about listening to Destroyer, I wasn't impressed with it at all. And it's not an album that I'll ever seek out to like play again for myself anytime soon. So feel free to throw some shade on that one if you'd like, and I'll look forward to doing 1977 because I think we all know who's going to be number 1 there. You guys take care now. All right, I'll catch up with you.